What's up, gang? How y'all doing? My name is Cal Sanford, and I'd like to welcome you guys to the very first episode of Welcome to the Table, presented by ClouT. Who is ClouT? ClouT is myself. What do? We record sports. We create sports content. I guess you guys can say we're a social media sports journalism company. We go out and we just find a true story in the locker room. We tell it like it is. No shit. What are we going to talk about on Welcome to the Table? If you can think of it, we're probably going to talk about it. I ain't gonna lie, we're going to talk about sports, crypto, stock, travel, food, fashion, music, entertainment, anything. So first thing first, before we get to our first segment, let me ask you your questions before you start commenting in the comments. No, I'm not a sorry-ass Atlanta Falcons fan. This is just a legendary jersey. You feel me? We got the Brett Favre throwback. You know what I'm saying? The old school 2000 black jerseys, you know what I'm saying? With the red helmets. This is before they got Mike Vick, you know what I'm saying? Type shit. Let's dive straight into it. Well, our first segment, we're going to get to the rankings of college football. We're going to do FBS. We're going to give love to the FCS because I was an FCS player. So, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty important to give love to them boys out there. They still D1, they still thugging, even though their school ain't big enough. It might not be at Alabama, Georgia, or USC. They still getting it in at UT Chattanooga. They still getting it in at Murray State. They still getting it in at Mercer, you know what I'm saying? Austin P, them type schools. So I want to give love to the D2s and the FCS. I want to get that out the way. Go ahead and say that right now. Throughout this podcast, throughout this journey, however long I'll be doing this, I want to give love to the small schools, to the smaller diamonds, because just because they played the big school don't mean that them dudes is good. Sometimes the better player, the better athlete is at the smaller school. If we're gonna be honest, they just got overlooked in high school, or they have some grades, or have a story that needs to be told. But with that story come a baller, come a dog, and everybody need to realize that. I don't think a lot of people realize that. If we're gonna be honest, I really don't. So, with that being said, we're going to go over the top 25 if y'all don't mind. We're going to start with the FBS rankings. At number 1, of course, Alabama. They beat the shit out of everybody. They reload every single year. And I want to say this as an Auburn fan. It's quite admiring. It's very beautiful body of work of what Nick Saban can do. If you appreciate the game of football, you appreciate what Alabama does, even though they beat the shit out of everybody pretty much every year. It's pretty boring, it's pretty repetitive to watch, but it's pretty remarkable. At number 2 comes in baby Alabama, UGA. Go Bulldogs. Kirby Smart has taken the Nick Saban system back home to his alma mater of Georgia. Those boys out there in Athens are getting to it. With JT Daniels, the perfect pro-style quarterback to run that system and to be able to feed those running backs, Zeus, and those boys in the backfield, perfect. And watch out for number 1. That stick talk out there. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. Pickens. George Pickens. That boy from Hoover, Alabama. Shout out to the 205. That boy is the real deal. Might be the next AJ Green, Julio Jones type receiver in the NFL. Keep watching. I hope he can stay out of trouble, man. If you ever see this, bro, keep your head, bro. Keep your cool out there. You're a real one, boy. I like watching you play out there, number 1. You're a defensive player playing wide receiver, so you must know that. And number 3, Oregon. I'm a little skeptical on that, I'm not going to lie. Number 4, Penn State. Skeptical on that. Number 5, Iowa. Number 6, Oklahoma. Spencer Rattler. Get your there. I knew you was cocky off your Netflix little documentary, but it's showing, big dog. Hey, you supposed to be projecting number 1 overall. You got all this merch, you got all them brand like that, big dog. You got to get to it. You know what I'm saying? You're a baller for sure. If you ever see this, I want you to know you're a baller for sure. But you got to be held accountable. You can't just be out here thugging it just to get by to get to the draft. You got to really do that shit. Number 7, Cincinnati. Ooh, they got some dogs. With that quarterback, Rodman, out of Louisville, that boy, hey, Redmond, or I don't even know his last name, bro. I got to do my research. I'm sorry. I will apologize. But I do know you're from Louisville, Kentucky, and you are a dog. Keep doing your thing out there, boy. Small schools count. Arkansas, we will talk about that later. Number 9, Notre Dame, Florida 10, Ohio State at 11. Ooh, shaking my head. 12, Ole Miss. We'll talk about that later. BYU at 13, Michigan at 14. That is a joke. Texas A&M at 15, Coastal Carolina at 16. McCall. Y'all want to talk about a future dog in the NFL? You want to talk about a draft diamond at a small school just because they run a triple option? That is a dog. Don't let his size, don't let their offense fool you. They got a baller calling the shots at Coastal Carolina. And I low-key like their system and their offense. I like their field. You know, the funky teal with the funky teal field. That's kind of dope. You know, if they ever do go to these super conferences, I can see Coastal Carolina one day joining one of those super conferences and maybe kicking like a small East Coast Boise State if UCF doesn't try to retain that title. Coming in at 17, MSU. Let's go green. I like that. 18, Fresno State. That's a pretty good team. 19, Oklahoma State. 20, UCLA. We'll talk about that later. 21, Baylor. 22, Auburn. We got to do better. We got to do better. We got rid of Malzahn, and I was fucking happy. New coach. I know you're from Boise State. I know it takes a year or two to get acquitted and get used to it, but hey, we demand championships at Auburn, man. I'm going to be the first fan to say that. Like, this whole mediocre, get over the hump shit, beat Alabama every couple years of Jordan Hare, keep your job, get extension shit, that shit is over. I'm tired of looking at that shit, and I'm sure the Auburn community is tired of looking at that shit. We are a family, which I'm sure you are accustomed to as being the head coach at Auburn. And we'll talk about that later. I got a whole topic, a whole segment on that, so we'll come back to it. NC State, after the upset, it's coming in at 23, 24, Wake Forest, and 25, Clemson. We'll get into that later, too, as well. Coming in on the FCS. We're going to do top 15 on the FCS on these boys. I'm sorry, but we're going to do top 15 on them in D2. Coming in at number 1, Sam Houston State. Great program. That's a sound program, well-oiled machine. So is James Madison at number 2. If Coach Houston is still there, Coach Mike Houston, got a great man, great program, hell of a recruiter. I'm sure he's winning games with James Madison because of that reason right there. Coming in at number 3, South Dakota State. Great program. 4, Montana. Bit of a surprise this year. They're usually in the teens, but great program. Number 5, North Dakota State. Who's surprised? Number 6, Eastern Washington. Usually traditional top 10 team. Number 7, Southern Illinois. Number 8, UC Davis. Number 9, Villanova. Number 10, Delaware. Number 11, North Dakota State. Number 12, Montana State. Number 13, Northern Iowa. Number 14, East Tennessee State. Shout out to them boys over there. I like to say that. Shout out to East Tennessee State. That was like my 4th offer ever out of high school. It was their first year creating their football program. I'm pretty sure they just upset a FBS team this year. If I'm not mistaken, they beat the shit out of Vandy at Vandy. An SEC team at that. And this is probably their 7th year ever. Or their 7th year back. I think they had a football program way back in the fucking day whenever they didn't let black people play. But, you know, that's pretty spectacular. I love to see that. And at number 15, Southeastern Louisiana. Traditional top 25 team. They usually get recruits, get transfers, especially with this portal. Man, I would say that Southern Louisiana was using the transfer portal before the transfer portal was a thing. They used to get D1 bounce backs from large schools. So to see them in the top 25 is not a surprise to me. Let's get to D2, top 15. Coming in number 1, West Florida. Shout out to the crib back at home, Pensacola. I like to see that. Coach Shinnick, great man, hell of a man. I want to say I was their very first offer in program history. I found out that West Florida was starting the team. I DM'd Coach Shinnick, or I emailed Coach Shinnick in school. He thought I was a coach and came to my game at Gus Shores High School and offered me. I balled out that game. Coach P. Shinnick, if you're still at West Florida, shout out to you. Coach Doolin, the defense coordinator from Abilene Christian, also offered me at high school and junior college. Shout out to you, one hell of a man, great guy, family guy, love that program. Fair State coming in at number 2. Coach McNeese. I played against Ferris State. I went to Northwood University in the GLIAC. Ferris State is traditionally top 5. And that man can coach his ass off. He's a player's coach. He's going to give his players a second chance. He's traditionally known to give players second chances. He's going to coach his ass off, and you can bet they're going to be in the quarterfinals, if not the semifinals, and if not the national championship, almost year in, year out. Number 3, Valdosta State, traditional power. Number 4, Northwestern Missouri, traditional power. Shout out to my boy Neek, JUCO boys, Santa Barbara JUCO boys. Shout out to my dog Neek and them boys out there. I want to come out there and do a vlog on you boys, so hopefully we make it out there. Colorado the Mines at number 5. Damn, the RMAC like that out there? Usually, you know, Pueblo and those type schools are at the top of that, but Colorado the Mines coming in at number 5. That's a surprise. Number 6, Notre Dame out of Cleveland, Ohio, out of the Ohio area. That's a great program. Number 7, Ucla Baptist out of Arkansas. Great program. That was like my 3rd offer ever. Number 8, Shepherd. Great program out of West Virginia. Number 9, Slippery Rock out of Pennsylvania. Great program. Number 10, Grand Valley State. Another great program I personally have experience with out of the GLIAC. You want to talk about a big fish in a little pond? Probably it should be a D1 school, but playing D2 and get away with it. Grand Valley State. Best facilities in the country. I'm talking about Grand Valley State probably has better facilities than most FCS schools. Better jerseys, better staffing, whatever you name it. Grand Valley State, great program, historical program. Number 11, Minnesota Duluth. I heard of them before. Number 12, Wingate. Number 13, Tiffin out of Ohio, the Dragons. Number 14, Minnesota State. Shout out to my boy Rail, also JUCO boy, Santa Barbara JUCO boy. My boy Rail transferred there. He played at JUCO a year after me in Santa Barbara. Hell of a ball player, great guy, real cool dude to train with, great team out there. And number coming in at 15 is West Georgia. Shout out to them Wolves in West Georgia. They usually live off of transfers. That's a traditional power, usually in the top 20 teams at all times. So shout out to those Wolves out there at West Georgia. Let's get it. This is how we do it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to get right into it, y'all, man. You know, I feel like if I'm going to be talking football on these teams, I got to be just as critical for my own teams as I am for everybody else's teams. So I'm going to keep it real on here. I'm going to keep it juicy. I'm going to keep it funky, however you want to say it. I'm sorry. My phone vibrated. I don't know where it is. Don't really need to be paying attention to it anyways. Y'all are the main focus right now, so please let me apologize. But as I was saying, I'm going to always keep it funky. I'm going to always keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? You did. So with that being said, I'm going to dive into our first topic of this segment. I'm going to go with Auburn. And should Auburn replace their quarterback? And when I get on this topic, I'm gonna put my paper down because y'all really need to feel me when I say this. I don't mean to be biased. I don't mean to come from a place of hatred or those things like that. I personally don't know the kid for real. He played quarterback for my little brother in high school, and my little cousins. The whole time I grew up, that I repped for the rest of my life. You feel me? Chatted on me. He played quarterback, took part in the high school there for a little bit. His dad was the coach. So I don't really have any personal vendettas with him other than he stinks at quarterback and should not be the quarterback at my team. His father, on the other hand, kind of got a little vendetta with him. Crazy dude. Tried to like recruit me, but then again tried to like report me to the state as if I wasn't living at the right address or something back in high school. Long story short, Patrick Nix, Bo Nix's daddy, I grew up in a town called Scottsboro, Alabama. He was the head coach there, comes from colleges or whatever. Comes in as the head coach. I was at the weight room working out with some buddies back in the day, type shit. Getting it in like 10th grade year. I just got offered by like Arkansas State and shit. So I'm like working out, getting it in. And he comes in, he just got the job. He's like, who are you? And I'm like, Yeah. I grew up here. These my boys. Like, I don't play Pee Wee with them. You know, I usually work out with them whenever I come home. And he's like, yeah, you don't play for this team. Get out. So, like, y'all, for most cities and stuff like that, that's respectable, that's commendable. But for, like, where I grew up in Scottsboro, it's like population 16,000 in small town Alabama. So we don't do things like that. You know what I'm saying? As a 10th grader, I just found it disrespectful. So as he told me he got out, bro proceeded to pull like a creep move and followed me all the way back to the crib to see if I lived in town. Then when he followed me, he got out of his car, came in my house uninvited, talked to my grandma basically, trying to see if I really lived there or not. And was like trying to get me to come back to school there. Yeah. My grandma basically told him no. My school that I went to was a traditional perennial power. It worked out for me. Got D1 scholarship and shit like that. But yeah, that's my Nick story. Bo Nix himself, we never really talked to the kid. Maybe like 2 or 3 conversations in person, but no personal vendettas with him other than he's trash at playing quarterback. I'll be the first to tell you that. So let's get started on my team with this segment. All right. Auburn University, War Dumb Eagle, go Tigers. All right, we need to replace our quarterback. I don't know if it's going to be TJ Finley or Demetrius Davis, the kid out of Houston, Texas. All right, this kid won like 3 state championships, ultimate dual threat quarterback. What we see in the NFL now, only knock on the kid is he's about 5'11", maybe 6 foot. Looks like a little running back, maybe like a Blake Sims. He reminds me of Blake Sims of Alabama back in the day. Very elusive, a winner in high school, knows what to do with the ball, takes care of the ball. If the offensive line doesn't block, he can get away. Although Bo Nix is probably one of the most athletic white boys I've ever seen in my life. He's like dunking two-handed in 9th grade at like 13 years old, 14 years old. Yeah, he gotta go. He's just not the answer. TJ Finley, the LSU transfer, haven't really figured him out yet. I liked him at LSU. I thought he was gonna stay at LSU, be the feature there. I think he got in a little trouble, so we got him on a deal. On a second chance deal, but I like the kid, big kid, kind of like a Cam Newton / Cardell Jones, 12 gauge, you know what I'm saying? Mixed hybrid back there. Does he make quick processing decisions when throwing the football? I don't really know. I don't know if he's short to intermediate route decision making is accurate with as far as throwing the ball. I know he's just a gunslinger, he can throw it down the field, and he's elusive, you know what I'm saying? And he can get up off me and type shit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm intrigued to see what he does. Hopefully we start him against LSU. I think the rumor is that we're going to start Bo, but if you're listening to this new head coach, start the new quarterback. I know for most head coaches, the first year is a rebuild year, but you're at Auburn. Not for you. You go against Nick Saban as your rival. We expect championships. We won't be at the top right now, my boy. So let's get to it. Number 2, as Clemson fell off. Is the next topic. To me personally, no, they're in a rebuild year. Losing a quarterback like Trevor Lawrence, like I said earlier in the podcast, is just hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you got traditional quarterbacks. That man, he was the face of Clemson for 3 years. You dig what I'm saying? So, like, it's hard to lose a quarterback like Trevor Lawrence. It's hard to rebuild. I mean, DJ just got to get comfortable. It's going to be a year. You know what I'm saying? Just give him a little time. That boy going to be there. I think next year, Clemson's going to be the team to beat. You know what I'm saying? I think that Clemson is going to be one of those teams, one of those squads back in the swing of things. Hopefully the college football playoffs will be 12 to 16 teams, but Clemson definitely be in the playoff conversation. Best team in the Big Ten. Who do I think is the best team in the Big Ten? Is it MSU? Is it Penn State? Is it Ohio State? Or is it Maryland? Is it Iowa? I don't really know, man. It's interesting to see. Like I said earlier, I like what Mel Tucker is doing. I have not bought into Iowa. I know they're a traditional mid-pack, top-tier team for that conference, but come on, bro. They don't have no athletes. They run the most old-school pro-style system. Like, they try to run smash mouth football, but don't really got smash mouth athletes. Don't really got athletes in general. Everybody's hyped on this defense. I don't really think they played anybody, so we'll see on the Iowa train. As far as Penn State, James Franklin, you never know. Like I said, Sean Clifford looks motivated this year. James Clifford has implemented his SEC environment, his national recruiting fortunes, and so we'll see. I don't think Penn State will ever win a national championship. I don't think James Franklin can win a national championship at Penn State, if we're going to be honest. But we'll see. It is Ohio State, ever going to come back. I think Ohio State is the best team. I think they took this early season loss, misfortunate events. I think that at the end of the year, give it a little time, Ohio State's going to be in the Big Ten championship, and Ohio State will be representing the Big Ten in the playoffs. That's my prediction. I'm sticking to it. I'm going to stick beside it. But yeah, I'm going to stick beside that. Who is Arkansas? Where did this Arkansas team come from? I talked about it earlier. Because Sam Pittman. Shout out to you, my guy. If you ever see this, shout out to your team. We'd love to do a vlog with you guys. But dude's incredible. I don't know if he's just a motivator or enthusiast or what, but he got them boys over there in Fayetteville rolling. They got a quarterback that looked like Cam Newton back in the day when he was at Auburn. I ain't gonna lie to you. His name is KJ Jefferson, and he is the real deal. Do you hear me? Yeah. I like what he's doing. The boy's hard to take down. He can throw that deep ball, question on the intermediate to short ball. But hey, it's getting them by. They 4-0. So if it's work and it ain't broken, don't fix it. You dig what I'm saying? Keep balling, boy. I like that. They got Trey Smith leading them in the backfield. Dude is a playmaker, like a little Darren Sproul, but got some LT Barry Sanders to him. He got a quick burst like Chad Johnson. When he gets to that second level, if the linebackers have not made contact, good luck to the safety because he might not touch him, and it's off to the races. The corner has to run him down in the pursuit angle. This dude is getting 6 to 12 yards a carry. When they were in that buck sweep, they're in between the tackles, inside zone, trap, anything like that. Small guy, but he's handling his own. I like what I see from Trey Smith. What happened to LSU? I don't know. Nah, I know what happened to LSU. Man. LSU is LSU. Right? Every year, every 8-10 years, LSU comes out. They hire a new coach. Within his first couple seasons, he goes and wins the national championship. They beat the shit out of everybody. They look good. His first few recruiting classes are dope. And then he starts losing the state of Louisiana to respected schools like Texas, USC, Alabama, Florida. His recruits start to leave. He starts to lose those Texas recruits. They start to go back to Texas A&M, Texas Tech, Texas. And it gets hard for LSU. They get down in those dial days. I think that they get a little bit mediocre, a little content on their job. And then next you know, they get this new fiery head coach. They go win a national championship and they're back in the conversation every 10 years. And everybody's like, oh, LSU. You know what I'm saying? Every year, every 10 years, LSU, right there in the mids, the 5s to the late thousands of LSU's in the conversation for national championship. And I like that about their program. It's respectable. I think that if they do ever get rid of Coach Orgeron, which I pray they don't, great man, great family. His twins are dope, ballers, shout out to them. Mandeville High School, respect them boys, played against them in 7-on-7. Great athletes, shout out to his wife, very polite woman. Beautiful Cajun accent, just like him. Beautiful family, great people. But yeah, if they get rid of Coach O, which I hope they don't, never wish that upon anybody or upon anybody's pockets. But I think they should go back and hire Joe Brady. Let's just be real. Joe Brady is that deal. You know what I'm saying? You see what he's doing with the Panthers, which we'll get to later. Joe Brady's the deal. So that's just my opinion, and I'm gonna stick beside it. Last but not least, is the Pac-12 for real? I'm back in Pac-12 country. I went out here. I lived out in Pac-12 country when I was at Ucla, so I didn't really pay attention to it. But now I'm a fan. And I'm paying attention to Pac-12 football. And is it for real? Oregon's always been in the conversation. USC fell off. Nobody knows where they've been. Put an APV out for the Trojan, please. That's good for college football if USC's back up there. But Stanford stumbles in every now and then. Their head coach is phenomenal, one of the best head coaches. Every once in a while, UCLA with Chip Kelly, they do their little thing and recruit. Be kind of good at the beginning of the year, follow off towards the end of the year. So I don't know if the Pac-12 is good. I know Herman Edwards is building something special here in Tempe. Arizona, down in Tucson, have lost their mind with their coaching hire since Campbell someone left. They lost to Northern Arizona. That's embarrassing. Cannot let that happen. Colorado is going crazy. Got the Mel Tucker left. Don't know their coach's name, but great hire. Black guy. Love to see a black man coach. Great offense. I like that running back. Even though he wears that big bulky knee brace as a running back, I like what they're doing there in Boulder. Love that place. Might do a vlog from the fan perspective from Boulder. What it's like to live as a Boulder frat boy episode or something like that. I don't know. Boulder frat. Back room, black couch, you know what I'm saying? If you know, if you know. If you don't, you broke. Or you slow, one of the two. But yeah, I'm sorry about the casting couch here. It came with the apartment, so I can't lie. Beggars can't be choosers, you feel me? But anyways, let's get with segment 5 here. As we start and we talk about the NFL. We're going to get this thing rolling, alright? Starting off with Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Is Lamar Jackson the real deal? To me personally, as a quarterback, I'm not really impressed with Lamar Jackson. I hate to say it. I love the guy. Love him as a human being, what he does. If you are a black quarterback and you're having trouble with your coach understanding you at, even at like a public white school or something like that, and, the public eye, or if you're just a black football player and you seem like the angry black kid always, you need a representation of how to carry yourself in public. Watch Lamar Jackson. He is the epitome of what every hood kid should be or want to be, and how they should carry themselves. Very respected, very well spoken. Shit, I love it. I mean, he's like my age, and I love to see it, man. Like me being a kid from low poverty situation, dog. I love to see it. Lamar Jackson, like, shout out to you, bro. Like, you the present day Vic, dog. Now, let's get to your skill set. And if you see this, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? This is how I try to make a living, bro, so don't take it personal, you know what I'm saying? Nobody please take this personal. Except for Pro Knicks, you're trash. But anyways, nobody please ever take this personal. This is something I'm trying to make a living for you feel me? And I'm just speaking the real. But yeah, Lamar went 16 for 31 this past Saturday against Detroit for 287 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. I'm going to be real. I mean, they won 19-17. He had 58 yards rushing. It was Detroit. It was at Detroit. It's Baltimore. I know they got injuries. I'm really going to give Lamar a slide on this season. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily because I should. I mean, he's the MVP. But let's be real, bro. Let's call a spade a spade. All his teammates is hurt. He ain't got no running back. They draft receivers, and I ain't seen none of them boys play today. Draft, except for my dog Hollywood, and even though he got the droppies, you know what I'm saying, every once in a while. Like, I hope he get his hands together, because I played against that boy, and that boy is fire. You want to talk about a real life human jet? He don't got primetime jet as his instant name for no reason. That boy fire. Played against College of Kings when I was at JUCO, Santa Barbara, 2016. We walk out there on the field, they start talking about this dude, Hollywood Brown, how he runs like a 4.2, 4.1. Yeah. So our coach was like, we loaded at Santa Barbara. Our coach was like, shit, we gonna play, man, we gonna test him. Ooh, man, one, keep safety high. So they disguised, bro. They put him in the slot. First play of the game, I gotta guard him one-on-one. I'm like, all right, cool. Now, nobody see my football or don't know my background, bro. I'm slow as hell. I ain't gonna call. I just got an IQ, you feel me? So I know where to be, when to be, you know what I'm saying? But I'm slow as hell. So when it comes to man coverage, bro, when you play speedsters like Hollywood Brown, I just don't think it was meant for my calling cards, you know what I'm saying? So I'm good, I can play man against normal people, but not somebody like that. So his quarterback, bro, when Hollywood is Ucla, they only ran like 4 routes: go, a dig, a post, and a comeback. Sometimes the curl. His quarterback, that's all he could complete because Hollywood was so fast, bro. Quarterback said height. So I blink. We playing catch technique. I'm at 9, so I blink. I'm trying to make contact with bro. He is at 6. I'm trying to backpedal. He is at 10. I'm at 12. I'm like, damn, get me out of man. I had to come to the sideline because we got to run man 3. I mean, we got to run cover 3 against bro because he's going to eat our ass up. And lo and behold, our corners came to the sideline and said the same thing. We got out that man shit. Even though it was a scrimmage, but shout out to Hollywood Brown. That's my Hollywood Brown story. Hopefully we can do a vlog, bro. You know what I'm saying? Link up. Actually create a story. I would love to do that. Maybe you can talk about that game, man. Y'all had a dog that was a defensive end. I think he went to Georgia. I'd love to talk about what happened to him and maybe do a vlog on him as well. Coming in at number 2 on this topic is, or in this segment is, are the Raiders the real deal? First off, I'm not a Atlanta Falcons fan. I'm a Raiders fan, Raider Nation. Shout out to the Black Hole, baby. You know what I'm saying? We just moved to Vegas, got the new Allegiant Stadium. That thing rocking. I live out west, so, you know, I got to check it out this year. Shout out to the Raiders. Shout out to the fam, you know what I'm saying? Are we the real deal as a Raider fan? I'm going to have to say yes. You know what I'm saying? I'm just as hard on John Gruden and Mike Mayock as anybody in the country. As a Raider fan, check my Facebook. You better know it. His draft picks don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Some of his questions and play calling don't make sense. He's a football genius. I know he is. So I respect Mike Mayock. I respect Derek Carr. I don't think Derek Carr is the quarterback to get us over the hump. He ain't no Patrick Mahomes, no nigga like that. But Derek Carr respectable. You know what I'm saying? Salute too, bro. Josh Jacobs. Dog, Kenyon Drake, my dog Drake, you know what I'm saying? You know how we get down to Old Town. The squad, all we need on the Raiders squad, we need a number 1 receiver. We need a consistent defense. We got a pass rush. That boy Max Crosby, Eastern Michigan, shout out to you, dog. He getting off. Carl Nassib, you know, shout out to you, big dog. That was a big commitment, what you did this summer, this year. Shout out to Carl Nassib. He getting to the quarterback. Shout out to 91. Don't want to mess up his name, but bro getting to the quarterback. He doing his thing, doing his stuff. Shout out to our backers. KJ Wright came in. Vet. Perriman. Vet. Love to see it. Jonathan Abrams reminded me of myself out there on the field. Be hitting. Vet. I love to see it. Man. Mullins, keep doing your thing. I really think you're a quarter safety, maybe even cover 2 safety. But hey, I mean quarter corner or cover 2 corner. But hey, you do decent in man. Man 1, not really. Man 2, I like it. Respectable. You doing your thing. Casey Hayward, big, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? One of the top corners in the league. Just look at the stats. Last however long he been in the league, look at the stats. You know what I'm saying? He can go pound for pound with your best. Casey Hayward is a dog, and I love to see him in a Raider uniform. That boy is smacking, and he know what he's doing out there at Vandy Grad. We just need a number 1 receiver out there. You know, AB fucked us. I'm gonna keep it spade. AB fucked us. You know what I'm saying? Like, he left us out for dry, and realistically, looking at it now, it was probably strategical, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was playing AB like he was crazy. That boy wasn't crazy now. He knew he had a plan. He was going to play with Tommy B. So I respect him for it, but shit, it hurt us. I can't hide to you. It hurt us. So once we get that, we're going to be a playoff contending team. Got to keep Josh Jacobs healthy, though, or if not, we got to get another back. Hunter Renfrow, we got to keep him on the team. He needs to be a Raider for life. His ball head, old ass, can run routes, gets open, like him. Brian Edwards, come to life, please. Henry Ruggs, Montgomery, you know what I'm saying? Montgomery, 334 boy. Love how you play. But please come to life. Don't just be a trickster that can run down the field. You know what I'm saying? Be the guy that was at Bama that can run all the routes on the tree. And please catch the ball, bro. Stop dropping that shit. But You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, dog. 334. Respect. Lee High School. Henry Ruggs went to a dog-ass high school up in Montgomery. Basketball, football players, you name it. That boy Rod Scott, you know, one of his friends, passed away many years ago to misfortune events, but, you know, RIP to that guy. And shout out to the Raiders Nation. Is Pat Mahomes average? This past Sunday, Pat Mahomes went 27 for 44, 260 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. On the season, Patrick Mahomes is a 111.7 QBR rating at 158. Is 70% completion percent. Is 940 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. I think that Patrick Mahomes is a talent, but I think that he's a systematic quarterback as well. I think that the system benefits him. I think that the weapons that he has, if you put those weapons on the Houston Texans, Deshaun Watson, pre-allegation Deshaun Watson is getting off. Russell Wilson getting off. Kyler Murray is getting off. And any of those guys are getting off. Now, not to take his skill set or his IQ away from him. Patrick Mahomes is the real deal. I just don't think that like he is great as what people make him out to be. Being that he is an interracial mixed quarterback, biracial quarterback, that helps, that elevates his stardom. Not to bring race into it, but I just don't think Patrick Mahomes is better than Lamar Jackson. I don't think he's better than Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you put those quarterbacks on his team, let's see what they do. You know what I'm saying? Baker Mayfield. Put Baker Mayfield on Kansas City, and that's basically what he ran at Oklahoma with Lincoln Riley. You know what I'm saying? Baker Mayfield was shine in Kansas City. So, not to shit on Patrick Mahomes' show. I just don't think he is that great. He's not average, but slightly above. Like my boy Cam P said, shout out to Cam P. Sleeper teams in the NFL. Who are my sleeper teams in the NFL? This year, my sleeper teams would be the Raiders. The Vegas Raiders, you know what I'm saying? I would love to say Oakland Raiders, but the Vegas Raiders. We the dark horse for the Super Bowl, for sure. Are we going to do Raider shit at the end of the year, or are we going to really hold true and be the great Raider team? Stay tuned. As my head and heart will hurt just with you as Raider fans. Hopefully John Gruden can pull it off. This is year 4. And Mike Mayock, the draft guru. So hopefully they can get this right, because their draft picks don't line up with Super Bowl. At least not right now. We got hella draft picks for Amari Cooper and Khalil Mack, and we built a team. We built a respectable team, but we could have got so much star power with those picks. So it doesn't make sense, but I look forward to it. I stick to the process. I trust the process. I'm not giving Gruden 10 fucking years. You gotta get it right in the next 2, my boy, or I'm starting to petition myself. I'm tired of the headache, but yeah, depending on how the season ends, John Gruden had maybe get next season and the year after, or I might be ready to get him out of there. We'll see. I think the Raiders are the real deal right now as a dark horse. I think San Francisco is the real deal. They gotta make their mind up on two. They gotta make their mind up. Football is a sport for no room for 2 quarterbacks. I hate to say it, I'll tell you that. I'll be the first to tell you that. They got to make their mind up in San Francisco. Loves Kyle Shanahan. They named his son Carter Shanahan. That's dope. Listen to Lil Wayne, big fan of Wayne. So am I. But you can't run 2 quarterbacks, especially in the NFL, bro. So you got to get that right. The Saints, Jameis Winston. Pay attention to Sean Payton and James Winston. All right, they got Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas will be coming back soon. So, you know, everybody's forgetting about that combo. That's going to be soon available. Callaway's pretty decent. You know, Taquan Smith's pretty decent. They got something going down there. The offensive system, the coaching, the play calling. We'll put Jameis in the right situation. Jameis just has to take care of the ball. 205, boy. Homegrown. Me and Jameis actually had Twitter beef back in high school. Little Huey time, Daphne rivalry. 707. If you know, you know. If you don't, you slow. But shout out to James Winston. I like what he's doing. Great team to be on. Mike could be a Super Bowl winning quarterback one day. Don't sleep on James Winston. For real, that boy won a Heisman now. And he from Bama. He from Bama now. Bessemer at that. You better know. If you don't know about Bessemer, you better get to know about Bessemer. And if you don't know about Bessemer, please don't stop off of 65 and get gas in Bessemer thinking that it's going to be all peaches and gravy. You might get Gucci Mane in that month. You know what I'm saying? But that's going to be that. The Broncos is another sleeper team for me. The Broncos is pretty nice. Teddy Bridgewater is dope. Teddy Bridgewater is Teddy Bridgewater. You know what I'm saying? I love what I see from Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater is doing Teddy Bridgewater things. I think he's an NFL quarterback. He's a starter. He's above average quarterback. He handles the business. They got nice weapons, nice skill players, a lot of firepower. I don't sleep on Drew Lock either. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people want to give up on him. It's only like year 3 for Drew Lock. Boy's a baller. He got some us in him. You know what I'm saying? He put on for his city too. You know what I'm saying? So don't sleep on Drew Lock. Drew Lock is gonna be alright. Drew Lock is gonna be special out there. So yeah. Future teams in the NFL. I'm gonna say the Bengals. My boy Joe Burrow. That boy is the next Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? Joe Burrows is the truth. The Bengals, I don't know if he could ever win a Super Bowl there. He might have to leave and go somewhere else. But Joe Burrow and the Bengals will make some noise in the AFC for years to come. Defense is always going to be what it is. They're always going to have nice receivers. Always going to have a decent running game. Joe Mixon's pretty nice. Top 3 in the NFL. So it's up to Joe Burrow and that offensive line. Another future team is going to be the Lions. My bad. Another future team for me is going to be the Lions. Jared Goff. Enough said. LA gave up on redemption in the city. Dog. Like Detroit is special to me. I got a lot of family ties there, a lot of just value there. I love that city. Hard grit city. They love that team, and I think Jared Goff has got a big enough chip on his shoulder that he might take them to the playoffs eventually. They just got to rebuild. Give them 2 years. Give the head coach 2 or 3 years, maybe even 4. Detroit. I know y'all shouldn't let Jim Caldwell go, but give him some time. And last but not least for my future teams is the Panthers. 3-0 right now. Sam Darnold has got rid of their tight end, Arnold, which is very unfortunate. But they just got C.J. Henderson back in place of the J.C. Horn injury. J.C. Horn is a great cover corner. C.J. Henderson's going to step in. That's going to be a extremely nasty cover tandem or trio next year with Deontay, J.C. Horn, Jack, Henderson, lockdown. All you need is one safety that can range you across the top. Them boys in Carolina going to have something. Pass rush is nice. Get nice up front with they got nice front seven. Shaq Thompson holding it down. Burns, Florida State guy off the edge. Man, I like what they got going. It's all on Sam Darnold. It's in the hands of Sam Darnold. But stick with us as we got one more segment. We just gonna do top picks. We're gonna fly through this one, I promise. Love you guys. Have a blessed one. Last but not least is our top picks, games to watch for this week. We're going to give you 8 to 10 FBS, 5 little FCS games to watch, and some D2 games to watch if you like football as much as I do. I usually have, the YouTube TV, all the games going from back to back to back. Keep my D2 boys on ESPN Plus up here, so... if you like me, you just like good quality football, you love football for what it is, and tune in and pay attention to these top picks for the week, for the games to watch, all right? We want to start off with number 1, Iowa versus Maryland. I really want to see if Iowa was a real team or not. Will Talea, they undefeated at Maryland. Coach Lashley got some dogs on his team, so I want to see if Maryland's real or not. Number 2, Arkansas versus Georgia. I want to see if Arkansas is real or not. They ain't got to beat them. This is going to be their first real test. If it's a blowout, they might be front runners. You know what I'm saying? If they lay down by the second quarter, they're front runners. But if they can fight to the end like Florida did with Alabama, I'll take Arkansas a little bit more serious. So, Coach Pittman, hope you boys get that thing rolling. I'm rooting for you for sure. I want to see Arkansas at the top. They need to be back at the top. That's Felix Jones, McFadden days, Ryan. Man, they had squads back then. The Bobby Petrino days of Arkansas, that was good football for the country. Number 3 game to watch, Michigan versus Wisconsin. This is also going to be a game to tell you if Michigan is real or not. I don't think they're real. I think that they need to get rid of Harbaugh, to be honest. I don't think Michigan is close to what the hell they think they are. But we'll see. This is going to be a game to tell you. Western Michigan versus Buffalo. Like I said, Jalen Hall. Got to give you some love. Love what y'all doing out there. This is going to be a good MAC game. If you just like small school football, it don't got to be all the hype, you know what I'm saying? Just watch some good quality football. It's going to be high scoring. Going to be some defensive setups. Whoever gets a turnover in that game, maybe a last second field goal, is probably going to win that game. Notorious to go for overtime. So, you know, if I was you, I'd take the over and not bet. Take the over. Number 5, Cincinnati versus Notre Dame. Can Cincinnati be the young small cats? The group of 5 team. Can Cincinnati be the group of 5 team to get into the national playoffs? This is going to be their first test. I'm pretty sure they play at Notre Dame. Really not that far of a drive. Cincinnati to South Bend, maybe like 2, 3, 4 hours, some shit like that. 3 hours at the most, for sure. Can Cincinnati beat the big guys at their house? That's what I want to know. They've already beat Indiana, so this is one of their big tests for the year. If they do this, I mean, you're looking at what could be possibly a national playoff berth for the very first group of 5 school. I know Cincinnati will be in the Big 12 school soon, so this could mean a lot for the group of 5 to come up. And number 6, Ole Miss versus Alabama. Shootout. West Coast style. High points. 50, 60 points on the board. Last person that will have the ball is going to win this game. The one that can get the few defensive stops is going to win this game. Can Alabama be in condition to get on the ball this year, or is Ole Miss hurry offense is going to kill them? Is Lane Kiffin going to be able to mastermind Nick Saban's defense as coordinator and take advantage and set a foot in the SEC and set himself up for recruiting, or is Nick Saban going to be Nick Saban and do Nick Saban things? We'll see. Stay tuned. Number 7 for FBS, I'm going to say Arizona State versus UCLA. It's going to be a late night game. It's a good game to watch. Wind down to, kick your feet up, maybe fall asleep on. You know, I'll be doing that shit. I ain't going to lie. You know, so that might be a good game for you to watch. Tune into that. See. Who knows? Jalen Thompson might get off. You know what I'm saying? UCLA's got pretty good running back. He might get off. Might run for 200. You know, you never know. At 8, Liberty versus UAB. UAB is pretty hot. Just beat Tulane down in New Orleans, if I'm not mistaken. First game back for Tulane. So I would just like to say, let's just see. Let's see how it goes. Malik Willis, you know, projected third quarterback taken in this year's draft. Elusive, can get past the stingy UAB defense. You know, Coach Bill Clark, I know him personally. When he recruits his defense, grit, responsible, disciplined players like that's gonna do their responsibility. You know, is LeBron not gonna be able to contain him? Just I'm calling you. I need 2 sacks. You talk about the lead. You want to get to the lead. This is the game you do it in, LeBron. This is the game you do it in. No cap. So can you do that, or are they gonna finally get off on you? You know what I'm saying? Let me know. One of the sleeper games I picked is going to be Penn State versus Indiana. I just really like that Indiana ball club. You know, they're senior loaded. COVID gave those guys another year to rekindle. The quarterback coming off of an ACL tear from last year. I really like that Indiana ball club. I think that they can beat Penn State again this year. They beat them last year. Why can't they do it again? Might fuck up Penn State's undefeated season. FCS games to watch. Jacksonville State versus Kansas State. traditional slugger match. It's going to be a new conference game, I believe. I think the Ohio Valley Conference is coming to an end here pretty soon, and these two teams are going to be in a conference together. So, triple option versus high-powered spread football, nice defenses. Two schools, not even like an hour, 30 minutes away from each other. Gonna meet up, slug it out. That'll be great to watch. Sam Houston versus SFA, Stephen F. Austin. I don't know why I can say that. So, Sam Houston versus Stephen F. Austin. Game number 2. Shout out to my boy Sean Wooden-Hill, academic advisor for the athletic program at Stephen F. Austin. Hope you boys go out there and get the win against the #1 team in FCS. Shock the nation. Stephen F. Austin has a 3-1 record. So, hey, let's see. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Go out there and shock the nation. Shout out to Stephen F. Austin. Offered me out of JUCO. Got some ties there. My brother Sean Woodhill, academic advisor. So, go Lumberjack. Knock off the #1 team for me. Number 3 game to watch in FCS is going to be Holy Cross versus Harvard. This is going to be a great game. I'm not even going to lie to you. This is going to be a great game for you to watch. A lot of people just don't know. Man, this is going to be a great game for you to watch. The Ivy League kids can ball. Holy Cross usually got a good defense, and the Ivy League, Harvard, they usually got good offense. My boy T. Lee, shout out to my boy T. Lee, the Ivy League Honey Badger, one of the best DBs to come to the Ivy League, hands down. Shout out to Kyle Juszczyk, one of the best utility players in the NFL, Army Swiss knife. Shout out to the tight ends they got to come out of there. Watch out for that game. That's gonna be a good game to watch. Gonna be some defense. Gonna be some low scoring games, but it'll be a good game. Another game to watch will be Columbia versus Princeton. Another Ivy League game. Both teams undefeated. I know you probably think this is not a debate series, but this is going to be some good football. Columbia's pretty good, and that's powder blue, the UNC blue, and that tiger stripe of Princeton. Something about them boys, they get after it. They can recruit at Princeton. Usually have a good team, respectable team, nice quarterback, nice tight ends, nice receivers. And last but not least, Alabama A&M versus Grambling. I picked this as a super game because the battle of the bands, and that is going to be off the charts. Halftime, and bands are going to be playing. Alabama A&M is probably going to destroy Grambling. I hate to say that for you, Grambling, but just truth of the matter. Alabama A&M has the #1 offense in all of FCS, if I'm not mistaken. Their quarterback is the truth. Is a draft diamond, from what I've been hearing. Puts up big numbers at each and every week. He is a boss, gunslinger. Their quarterback is something to look out for at Alabama. And number 4, Mr. Glass, I think is his last name. So you want to watch some good music at halftime, some entertainment there in football. Their halftime football, and you want to watch a high-powered offense take advantage of a team, a physical defense, a physical team, but a least disciplined team. Definitely tune into Alabama. And then Bulldogs, the hometown. My whole fam went to Alabama A&M. 1 year eligibility left. Might pop out, play 1 season at A&M next year. Might see me in the SWAC, so you never know. But that's episode 1. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all being patient through the segments as I work out. Next week, I'm going to put my ass on a timer. So if you made it through this, bear with me. And peace.